Hello YouTubers, RogueMonkeyJr here. Now, as per a request in one of my past videos, somebody asked me to make a keyboard and settings guide as to what I use in Apex Legends. So this is what we will be going through today in hopes that you will be better able to pinpoint which keys you should use for which actions you want to make in Apex Legends. It is quite a high skill gap game, and the more you are used to your keys, the more you manage to implement every mechanic that Apex Legends offers together, the more often you will come out on top. Now, I'm no pro in Apex Legends, but I manage pretty well, if I can say so myself. So before we start off, I apologize if my voice sounds a little bit weird. I think I'm about to go have a cold or something. My voice is kind of shot. But let's jump right into the settings menu. So first, let's start off with mouse and keyboard. So I have a Razer Death Adder, and I don't have all that much real estate on my desk to actually make put my sensitivity down a lot. I use 600 DPIs in the Razer software, even though my mouse offers up to, I think, 18,000 DPI, and in-game mouse sensitivity is 5, and the ADS sensitivity multiplier is 0.7, mouse acceleration off, as well as mouse invert off. Now, do note, X Factor mentioned in one of his tweets that OBS, when it's open and has the preview panel enabled, might cause some mouse issues. So if you're recording at the same time, just keep that in mind. Your mouse might feel kind of sluggish every now and then. But I digress. Let's keep going with the video. So obviously you have your basic movement keys, so WASD, space to jump. I use control to crouch, which is toggle hold. I don't like having to hold my control key to crouch if I want to, it just annoys me to have to hold it toggle, to be honest. So that's why I just have it on toggle. And then if I want to crouch run, I just have to tap it. Crouch slide, I just have to tap it and then my character will just crouch slide. It's just personal preference. You can maybe like it more if you have to hold the key, but for me personally, it's toggle. To chat with teammates, which is probably one of the most important things in Apex Legends, is communication. You'll need your team to come out on top unless you're like a godly player. So I use left alt. It doesn't hinder my movement whatsoever. I have all of my movement keys ready, and the only button that I'm using, or finger that I'm using, is my pinky finger. So, and then again, I'm most often than not play with friends on Discord, so I just have an open mic. But if you do talk to your teammates, it's best to have a key that doesn't hinder your movement whatsoever. Now for the inventory, I just use the tab button. It's just a habit, muscle memory, to have it set to tab. Most games I play that have an inventory, it is tab to open the inventory. That's why I have it set this way. The use key is E. Since this game doesn't have any manual leaning, it doesn't have any leaning at all actually. Since it doesn't have any of those functions, I just use E to pick up stuff. It's very quick to swap weapons and, just pick up a bunch of ammo. Now for my abilities, I use P, which is a key that is relatively close to my spacebar on the keyboard that I have. Now this may differ. I do have a gaming part, in quotation marks, on my keyboard, so for you it might be maybe V or something like that. And then for the ultimate ability, it is Q. The reason why it is Q is in the past I've played quite a bit of Overwatch, and in Overwatch my ultimate ability was Q, and it's just force of habit. Muscle memory taught me that Q was the ultimate, so that's why I set it to that. If not, I would probably just hit some other random button and do something I didn't want to do whatsoever. Now for swapping weapons and general actions you would want to pose when you're playing Apex Legends. For swapping weapons, I have a thumb button set specifically to that. The reason for this, once again, the more you stay in movement in first-person shooters, the less likely you are to die. You want to break out your best dance moves to avoid getting shot and making yourself a harder target to hit. And by having a thumb button set to swap weapons, which you will need to do in Apex Legends, seeing as it does take quite a few shots to down somebody, especially when they have armor late game that is a higher rarity than just basic common, you're going to need to probably swap weapons if you run out of ammo and are in a sticky situation, which is possibly much quicker than reloading. That's why I have it set to the thumb button. Now, for running without a weapon, I just have it set to 3. Generally speaking, I use this to get in and out of cover or to cross and travel long distances faster than with a weapon. For healing, I just have number 4 because it's not a hold button that you need to actually press. You just hit it to start healing, and if you want to cycle through, you can always hold it. Right now I don't have any other meds on me because I'm in the practice range, but you can hold it and cycle through your shield cells, shield battery, phoenix kit, med kit, syringes, and all that different stuff. Same for the throwables. So for me, the throwables is 5 because I just have to press it and it takes out my throwable, and then I can just swap through them by pressing the same button and holding it. For melee, for me, it's T. Again, force a habit. I always use T in video games for melee. Whatever you're comfortable with is what you should go with. And for the pinging system, which is, first of all, very intuitive in Apex Legends and very, very useful. You should get used to using it. If you don't have, if you don't use a mic, if you don't have communication with your team, if they don't have their VoIP open, pinging is the most important part of Apex Legends because communication is key to winning games with your 2 other squad mates. So for me, it is again a thumb button. Same principle. It doesn't take one of my fingers off of my ADS key, my firing key, or any of my movement keys on the keyboard. So for double tapping, it will mark an enemy. For just pressing the button once, it'll mark a location, and then you can just cycle through all the commands. I don't have any other keys assigned to each and every command. Generally speaking, I pretty much only use the mark and the enemy spotted key. Unless I'm playing with some randos, then I might, cycle through a couple of commands to say that people have been here, or, I'm going to be watching this area. But generally speaking, I just stick to this and the enemy marked. So I hope this little guide helped you out and maybe gave you a few ideas on what you would like to set some of the abilities or actions as in Apex Legends in order to keep moving as much as possible, implement movement with your gunfights, which will in turn make it so that you win many more than you probably might be right now. I don't know. Let me know if you enjoyed the video in the comment section, if you found this guide helpful. Let me know if you have any questions as well. Hit the like button if you enjoyed the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, thanks very much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good one.